Number 5. Bodie is a ghost town in the Bodie Hills, east of Sierra Nevada mountain range in the Mono County, California, United States, about 75 miles southeast of Lake Toy. It became boom town in 1876 and following year after the discovery of profitable line of gold and suddenly attracted to several thousand residents. It is located 12 miles east southwest of Bridgeport. Bodie as a mining camp of little following discovery of gold 1859 by a group of prospectors including W.S. Bode. Bode precised in a blizzard following November while making a supply trip to Monovale near present-day Mono City, California, near the would never see a rise of town named after him. Later, the Bode population started to increase from 3,000 to 10,000 people in Bode. At that time, the mining business was Bode mines produced a gold valued at nearly 34 million US dollars. Later, Bode went to their technology and set up the power plant which produces 97 kilowatt and delivered to the Bode town. Bode had started to increase in all kind of amenities including town saloons, bars, different kind of companies, brass companies, railroads, and including Wells Fargo Bank. Everything is going good, but the time came. In 1912, the business was just started to decrease. Number 4. Less than 100 miles from the Venice, there is an island called Poveglia. Poveglia Island is based in Italy and has been used for centuries for the refugees, stronghold, place for the asylum people and the people who are got infection and had different kind of diseases that will not be cured. The Poveglia welcomed its first inhabitants and women and children who fled barbaric invaders that had ravaged the mainland. Its relatively small size made the island defendable and not worth the trouble of invading armies for the centuries. The small community lived in the peace and avoided the law and taxes of the mainland. The population dwindled, however, and by the 14th century the island was once again abandoned. In 1348, the bubonic plague arrived in Venice, and Poveglia, like many other small islands, became quarantine colony. The plague killed 1 out of 3 Europeans, fearing the unbridled spread of disease. Venice exhaled many symptoms, fearing citizens. It was clearly a death sentence. At the island center, the dead and those too sick to protest were burned on giant pyres. This included the 10,000 of Venice citizens dying on the mainland. These fires would burn once more in 1630 when Black Death again swept through the city. Long after the fire extinguished, Napoleon military campaign relied on the island ghostly legend and defendable position to protect the stores of gunpowder and weapons. Later, the island were auctioned to the private realtor at around 400,000 euros for Number 3. Centralia, Pennsylvania is just like a city, Bodie, California, but here the story is a little bit different. The Pennsylvania is a small town that got mining ores in 19th century. People started to move here when the mining started. Year by year, the population is get increase. The first two mines in Centralia opened in 1856, the Run Mine and the Coal Mine Ridge. Afterward, Hayes Daily Coal Mine in 1860, Centralia Mine in 1862 and the Continental Mine in 1863. Afterward, many mining company has been closed, but the bootleg mining continued until 1982 and stripped open pit mining and are still active in this area. And underground mining about 3 miles is to west to employ about 40 people. Rail service ended in 1966. Its own district school, including elementary and high school, resident about 1,000 people. Afterward, there is on the coal mine caught on fire, and until today, the reason hasn't been revealed yet. And the people has been starting to move out when the smoke is coming out from the ground and spread over 30 miles of the area. Number 2. About 9 miles from the city called Nagasaki sits an abandoned island called Hashima Island, inhabited, but it's a place that kept a deep history. Hashima Island once the state for the people who do undersea coal mining was a sharp representation of the Japan rapid industrialization, also known as Gangajima, meaning that battleship island for its resemblance to Japan battleship. Hashima functioned as coal facility from 1887 until 1974. Once the coal reserve started depleting and the petroleum began replacing the coal, the mine shut down and the people left. After that, Hashima Island went ignored for nearly 3 decades, but as abandoned concrete walls clambered and flourished, the depleted island caught the attention of those interested in undisturbed historic ruins. However, Hashima Island's past isn't simple. During the World War II, the history of island darker as Japanese wartime mobilization policies, exploits, enlisted Korean civilians, and Chinese prisoners. Number 1. Pripyat is a city in Ukraine. Pripyat is named after the river called Pripyat River, and the Pripyat city found on 4th February 1970 and set up a nuclear power plant called Chernobyl Power Plant. It became a ghost town when the accident happened in Chernobyl Power Plant. The reactor number 4 blasted and the people need to evacuate the city immediately. It got the population about 50,000 people. Pripyat located at the border of Ukraine and Belarus. This city went abandoned since that day. Now this city is restricted and you need to have a special permit from the government to enter this city. The people say that the Pripyat got fully abandoned in 2 days. The 50,000 of people population got abandoned in 2 days. Sound disturbing, right? Pripyat got all amenities that the people need. Schools, cafes, bars, parks, etc., hospitals, and many more. Now, local bodies says that there is a wall built on the Chernobyl reactor number 4 by the funds of European Union to protect the environment by the radiation. If you like that video, please do hit the like button, comment, share, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will get the notification whenever the channel will upload.